it's Witch, it's Twin Flame Witch, and welcome back to my channel. So, we are doing the Book of Shadows on Sundays, and I am going to be doing more tarot readings more than anything. So, I wanted to let you guys know that, but tomorrow we're going to be discussing something we were already supposed to discuss. That is the types of witches and types of magic. So, I wanted to start this month out with letting you know, and the Book of Shadows, my story. I don't know how many of you are interested in it, but I'm sure some of you are. So I am going to start this out with my background and how I got into this. And some of you may be curious about my twin flame journey. Maybe not, maybe. So I thought I'd let you know. And then as I get new subscribers, they can always go back and look at this video if they're curious. Because I have been curious about people's backgrounds. I am in an amino group, a witchcraft group, or community as I look at it as. And I have been curious about, not many people, but there's a few. There is one specifically, a female, that I was curious about. She has been in it basically her whole life, and I was curious her background. And so I asked her, but she had already had it on her page, because I guess people do get curious about okay, so let me explain a little bit more, and I'm sure she doesn't mind because she is very upfront about it. But she's actually a Satanist, I guess. And it's not what you think, though. It's really not. It sounds different than what it is, but anyway. And I was curious how she got into that. I wasn't shunning her at all. That's not what it was. I often ask people how they were when they first knew that they were a witch. And people say, you don't know you're a witch. You become a witch. I disagree with that, and this may be the wrong answer. Considering I don't have a big fan base yet, I may upset a lot of people, but it's different for everyone. But I definitely was born a witch. Many people can disagree with me, but I've tried to run from it, and I couldn't, so I now embrace it. But how old was I? I was in middle school, junior high, whatever, about, I don't know, 7th grade maybe, when I just felt so drawn to it. So that was in the 90s. But before that, I always felt something. I always knew. There was always signs there. Like, I have spiritual gifts, and those always showed. My parents, I always had spirits drawn to me. So I guess you could say I was a medium, and that's kind of how it started. My story started at age 7, though. And a YouTube friend of mine, Danielle, that tells scary ghost stories, she is going to tell all my stories as a series, but she started out with when I was 7. My first story that I can remember anyway. So by the time I was like 10, it was horrible. Like, everywhere I looked, I seen a spirit. It was bad. They were always communicating with me, and I tried to push my gifts away. And that one I don't have like I used to, and now I miss it, and I want it back because I feel like there's a part of me missing now. But anyway, but a lot of them, until I embraced I was a witch, they weren't very strong. Like, when I watch ASMR videos, I'm into ASMR, but not all of it. I like the personal attention ones, like, you know, like a measuring tape, the brushing, things like that. Oh, definitely plucking. Or I can hear or smell and taste and feel things through them. Like, smell, I can use all my senses. And I done a video on the 6 clairs, or the 6 senses, and I have all of them, and I'm an empath, and I think it's connected. So I have lupus, and I think that all of that is connected, because we I guess pretty much take all your bad energy for you and hold it inside of us. It makes us physically ill, and I think that's what causes the health issues. So if you were wondering, but the reason why I've really got into herbal teas is because of the health issues. So anyway, it was 2000, I think it was in 2003 when I actually started practicing witchcraft. I did all my projects in school on it, my research, but 2003 is when I actually started practicing. Well, I got pregnant with my son, and I was told that I needed to give it up. And trying to be the best mother that I could be, I gave it up. And I didn't take it back until 2017, or go back into it. But when I did, I was in a very, very bad relationship. It was a karmic partner. And I got into black magic. And that's why I wanted to do this channel, was because nobody was telling me what to do or how to do it. And I caused someone to be possessed. Anyway, the spell that I done, I realized I missed the line, and I went back through. And when I did, that's what caused it. And I watched that person that was asleep beside of me, foaming at the mouth and growling, eyes rolling back. It was extremely scary. And I had these dolls that I had cut out, and, you know, I got to stab them, and all I had with me were tweezers, and I didn't have a candle, I had a lighter. So anyway, I was sitting in a car in a driveway, and there was more than one person involved in it. I involved other people. One of them got in a horrible accident. This was a few years later, and I was told by my guides it had nothing to do with me, but she did kill herself and her son. And I do not want you guys to go through that. I don't want anybody to go through that. You need to know when you're in a karmic relationship and try to get out of it. When you sense your twin flame is coming, you need to know that, and you need to go towards them, not away from them by getting scared. Had I not known my twin flame was coming, I would have pushed him away, because I was not ready to be in another relationship, but I knew that he was my twin flame. And I basically told him that. And him not believing that, he didn't believe it for a minute, but I mean, I think he believes it now, of course, but it's, and I've discussed with you the stages of twin flames. You know, it gets bad, good, but it's never going to be as bad as it would be with a karmic partner. I will tell you that. Karmic partner, you freaking hate each other, but you don't understand why you keep feeling drawn to them. Until that's supposed to end, usually, it doesn't end. Mine didn't end until the day that my karmic partner went out and my twin flame came in. So I was very lucky. I don't know how it works for other people, but it's just being, you know, having all these gifts. I knew. And I've been seeing visions for, I know, about 2 years. And I kept telling my karmic partner, you know, my twin flame's coming, I feel it. And of course, he didn't want to hear that, but you know, I've tried to tell him, you're not supposed to be with me, go away. And I told him I seen someone coming towards him, but it was not his twin flame. This girl was going to make his life a disaster, and she was going to treat him exactly how he treated me. Do I think he deserves that? You know, honestly, I could care less. I don't care. I don't wish bad things on him. I did. I think the less I care and not put energy into it is the best thing to do. Don't give people your energy that don't deserve it. And if you're telepathic, definitely don't, and I am, that's another thing. So yes, people that know, other people are telepathic. Other telepaths can communicate with me. Can I block them? Yes. Am I blocking them? Yes. It's different when it all starts, and this is a type of channel you want to be on if it happens. And you can always email me if you're curious about something going on in your life. I'll almost always have the email in the description area, and I also have timestamps so that you don't have to look at the whole video if you're not interested in the whole videos. I have the timestamps in the comment section. So anyway, I don't know how I got over in 2 types of partners, because we were supposed to discuss that on a different day. So guess what? We already discussed it. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, so I am 35 now, and I have been practicing religiously since 2017. That has been my life. But yes, I have done this longer. And did I do other things? Did I practice in between? Yes, but I didn't make it my life. I didn't make it known. You know, you come in my house, you're going to know I'm a witch. You get in my vehicle, you're going to know I'm a witch. Most of the time, I'm wearing a pentagram necklace. So, anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like, it's obvious. We don't keep it a secret who we are here. And that's the best way to be, because when I understand a lot of you may be young and, excuse me, and some of you may even be in marriages where your partner is Christian or whatever, goes to church, and you don't, but you don't want to upset them by telling them who you really are. If that's who you really are, then you can't fight it, or it's going to make things worse. Until I gave in completely, my life was not going the way it was supposed to. I was blocking my guides. Like, I was just a mess. I've been dealing with my health a little bit more because, like, just recently, because when you're a twin flame, they could be going through stuff. And especially if you're an empath. But I give him a lot of props for having to go through this so quickly. If you watch my video on the stages of spiritual awakening, he's going through his very quickly. And I went through mine very quickly, but he's going through his even quicker. So he's been smacked with it all at once. So I understand that's got to be hard. But, and here's something that's horrible. Okay, so this part's not horrible, but so just recently, and I told a few people about it, so I can look back and see what date that is. But just recently, I had a dream that my husband had too. I know he did, because I heard him. He woke up and was talking about it, and he doesn't remember. And I knew that we were in the same dream. And his mother, I haven't talked to her about it, but she was in it too. I mean, she was in his too. Like, he woke up to, mom. And I'm like, whoa. This is what I was just dreaming about. It's about this mirror in our bedroom. He's wanting to change the room around, but I'm not really sure how to do that, or take the mirror's doors off and put it on the other side. But regardless, they're going to be on there. They're doors. They're sliding doors. So, but I had I woke up at 8 o'clock, and I had this dream, okay? And as soon as I woke up, my guys told me, write this down. I said, no, I'll just say it over and over. I don't remember. I was so tired. And they told me to write it down. I didn't, but it was a message from my husband. And I have no freaking clue what it was. And so I got to try to remember. So you guys I have 2 journals by my bed, but I need 3. I need one for dreams. And I used to do that. I need a spiritual journal and a regular journal. But guess what? I didn't write it down. It's in that drawer beside my bed, and I didn't do it. You can even carry one with you. I have this little spell book I've never written in. I show it in my the Tools and Witchcraft videos. There's 2 of them. They're the same ones, but I made the second one shorter, and then I added 2 things at the end. Well, anyway, when I talk about the spell books and journals and stuff, like that little bitty spell book, it was in there. Yeah, well, it was in my witch box that I bought, and I'm going to be doing that. I'm actually working on one to sell in our store, but I've got overwhelmed with projects and just life and Christmas and stuff, and that got put on hold. Well, and the channel. So the store got put on hold, but it's like literally almost here. This side of my office over here is screaming, organize me so you can get the store done. I started working on it, and I have a video that kind of gives it away since I've already started recording this stuff, but you'll see in the video my New Year's Eve. It starts with New Year's Eve and my projects that I'm doing. So what were the gifts that I first noticed? Okay, so my gifts that I first noticed was, I remember being 4 and telling my mother what my life was going to be like. I said, I'm probably going to have 1 kid, but I want 100. And I had 1 kid. That's all I was able to have. I have horrible fertility issues. So there's many things that didn't get in the way of me being able to have a child. So luckily, my husband doesn't want children, so I don't have to worry about going through that, okay? So I remember telling her many things. I also remember, I remember saying that I was going to get cancer. And I remember after I was told I had it, someone told me it's not going to be what you think it is. It's not as bad as you think it is. I went back to the doctor, no cancer. So that was great. Anyway, I knew what things were going to happen ever since I can remember. Okay, the next thing was I was a medium. Spirits were attached to me, would speak to me, want me to help them find their murderers or help them cross over. you know, make amends, whatever. So, what else? I've always been an empath. I think an empath is something you're born as. And I think with my husband, me and my twin flame, he's becoming one. And it's like really, really weird. And because he's the total opposite of one, actually. He does not understand people's feelings at all. And so since he's becoming one, it's like, it's strange. And if I feel the slightest bit off, he's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Because he feels my energy being off. Even if I'm falling asleep. Like, so I know that he's coming into gifts and it's happening so quickly. It can be so overwhelming and scary. Okay, what other gifts? Ever since I was like 8, I remember smelling stuff that wasn't there. And at the time I didn't know what it was, but this time last year is when it really started. Like this ghost would pass by me like the same time every day. Just pass through the house and I could smell a cologne. And there's another one that actually lived there that smelled like alcohol, I think. Or it might have been vice versa. Anyway, it was like the same times of the day. Some spirits get stuck in a time loop. So, and yes, I know a lot about spirits, but not all about like demons and stuff. Well, I do know about, here's another thing about me. Okay, so I've got all the gifts and they basically all started when I was young, okay? But some of them have gotten stronger in the last year or so because I've been working with them. If you're wanting messages to come through, if you're not around anyone, you're probably not going to get any messages because you don't need to get messages. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I'm not around people with chaos in their life, I'm not probably going to get any messages. And it gets really boring and dull for me because I'm used to that. I'm used to... So right now, yes, life is pretty boring and dull for me because nobody needs messages. In my How to Be a Witch on a Budget video, you will see that you don't have to have all the tools necessary. Of course, I just like to have them. But yes, when I started out being, doing that black magic, I was not using any tools. But I will say, you can get energies mixed up if you're reusing the same candle. Because if you use that candle for health and then you used it for money, or you used it on someone, then you get what I'm saying, you're mixing up energies. Try to let that candle burn out or use a different candle. And you're not supposed to put it out, you're supposed to extinguish it. Religion is Pentecostal. And then we went to full gospel, meaning we didn't believe in any religion. But the basis of it, so I think I broke my chair. Did you hear that? This is the second time I broke it. Okay, so my view of Pentecostal is basically we're witches because we believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, which is the Spirit, and people speak in tongues. They decipher the tongues. They have intuition. Come on, to me that's what it looks like, And when they do their prayers, to me it looks like spells, the oils, anointing with oils and the holy water. I don't know. But anyway, some Pentecostals believe that you can't wear makeup. So we're not that Pentecostal where you can't wear makeup, you have to keep your hair long, and you have to wear long skirts. That is not us. We don't handle snakes either. We're not that one. We're the southern one. So anyway, everyone in my family has some sort of gift, but they don't practice witchcraft. And I think my mother is a kitchen witch, and I am too. So I can take instant potatoes and make them taste like real ones. It's a miracle. I don't know why, but my family gets a kick out of that. And it's just, I can make anything. You could be making it for 20 years and I make it and it just tastes totally like I've been doing it all my life. I don't know, but I guess it's the best gift I have. I don't know. Because everyone can benefit from that one. I can work with energies too. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're talking about my religion. So anyway, that is my religion. I do not currently go to church though. The reason why I don't go to church is because people, it seems like they were always trying to, I don't know. if you watch that Christmas light video I done, a lot of church people just try to pinpoint what you're doing wrong, and they're so focused on what you're doing wrong, and they don't believe you're allowed to be gay. You're not allowed to be yourself. You're born gay, you go to hell. You're born a witch, you go to hell. Like, that's my opinion on this. And this video is about my story, so I'm allowed to say how I feel about that, right? I had to take a little break. I think I was getting overheated. That's why my skin was itching. So anyway, what type of witch am I? I am more than one witch, and I asked someone that, and so I done some research, and I'm definitely a kitchen witch, but I also feel very drawn to, and I've mentioned this before, I don't remember what video it was, but when we were working out of state, we would go to the beach, and I felt, just being in that state, I felt grounded. And so I believe I'm a water witch too, and I feel very drawn to seashells and sand, but I can also manipulate fire. So, and there's more than just the elements, and we will discuss that tomorrow. That's how we're going to start out the Book of Shadows with the types of witches and types of magic and magical correspondences. I think, no, I didn't always use the tools necessary, but I think you should? No, not completely, but you got to be careful, like mixing energies and like, I guess it's whatever you think is best once you have gone through the basics. I didn't get through everything I needed to get through before I started doing magic, and that is a big, big no-no. Someone had brought this up. Someone messaged me on IG and asked me about a spell. I won't put your name out there. But they asked me, like, if I do this, what will happen? Like, and anyway, we discussed how some witches, they've decided they want to be a witch 2 weeks ago. And they said they're already working with deities. I don't see a deity working with someone that's only been doing it 2 weeks. But I will also tell you, if a spirit feels you're vulnerable and they're wanting something in return, they may try to work with you, but you don't know what you're doing, so you can wreak havoc on everyone around you. It is not very smart at all to do that. I believe you should do all the research you can. That's why I done the channel, because nobody has time to do all that, but I like to do research. So, and I love books. I love it. I love the knowledge. I enjoy doing research, and I want to know that I'm doing something correctly. And it does make me nervous that I haven't been doing this very long. I haven't been doing YouTube long either, because I do know some people that are way above me on the witch rake, and it does make me nervous. But I don't want to ask them for their advice, because I feel like, you know, what if my channel does blow up, you know? And they helped me. I don't see that it would be right. So my opinion, like my view on certain things isn't the same as my husband's. It's total opposite. Some things about us were completely the same people. And then, okay, let me explain it like this. It's like we're looking in a mirror, right? But it's like we're yin and yang. You know how we're two halves that make a whole. So you put those together, that's what you get. So there's certain things we're mirroring each other, and the other things are total opposite, complete opposite. And, well, I've been doing really good. My skin hasn't been itching, and it's itchy. So anyway, like, we're a total opposite, but we're completely the same. Now, when we first got together, we were completely the same. And then we started, it's just part of the stages, and then we started being different. Started seeing the differences in each other. And can that get difficult? Of course it can. But they say opposites attract. And then also people that find common interests, that also attracts people. So you got both, it should be a good thing. But when you're both working on like mirror type stuff, that can, and I know that I swear to you, I think that message was about a mirror. Not an actual physical mirror, but about mirroring and how I could help him. But I cannot remember. He says it'll come to me, so I'm hoping it does. My plans with the channel is to incorporate a little bit of everything. Let's have some fun with it. Let's do some reviews. Let's have some fun. Let's do how-to videos. let's do tarot. Definitely going to incorporate more tarot. I want to incorporate ASMR. I'm going to do the types that I like because I think I'm the best at that. I don't know anything about the things that I don't like, so my plans with my life. Not just this channel and not just the store, but I would like to make a difference in the world. I was going to witch college. Was it witch school? Anyway, that's the actual name of it, and the price went way up. And at the time, I wasn't ready to do all this. I had a lot going on, so I didn't get all the knowledge that I needed. Here, I'll tell you, my book's right here. It is Witch School. Witchschool.com, and it went way up. I was even paying for someone else to go. So anyway, I really did try to help that person that killed herself and her son. She didn't want my help, and my guides told me to stay out of it. That what's supposed to happen will happen. But anyway, I had a hard time getting through that. Really hard time. Which someone did not understand. But once I realized that, DCS did get involved, did take him, and did give him back the week before, I knew it was not my fault. So anyway, let's stop talking about that. But my plans, I have a lot of plans. It takes a lot of money to do the plans that I want to do. And I'm not sure how far I will get in my life with that. But I'm excited to see where it takes me. I felt bad about wanting to do a store, which I'd already actually been selling to people last year, 2019, and then things happened and I wasn't able to do it anymore. But I was actually feeling bad about having a store and wanting to do the channel and all that stuff, because I'm not as experienced as the lady that owns the metaphysical store we like to go to, and I will continue buying from her. You should always support a local metaphysical store before, just going on Amazon and buying something, Anyway, it made me feel bad to do that, and plus she's way more experienced than me. But like I said, I didn't want to ask her. I don't know, I won't go into all that, but my plans, I'm not really sure where they're going to take me, but I really want to make a difference in this world. And since this is supposed to be my last life, if I do it right, I want to make it count. But my health I got to do something about it. So that is why I do the herbal teas and experiment. And I hope that I can figure it out. I really do. My son wanted to be a scientist, and I guess because I asked him to try to find a cure, he felt like I was putting too much on him, and he gave up that dream. I do not have an agent, and in order to not pay a lot, I need an agent, but I have to take a class to get an agent, and I'm waiting for that. I'm on a waiting list, and so I need to check my email and see if I have been accepted yet. So once I take that class, I have no clue how much it's going to cost. Then I'm able to find an agent, and then I can write books and I don't have to pay a whole bunch of money. And I've had people contact me, but it just costs way too much. They one said that they did not specialize. That's not their thing. Like Llewellyn or Rockpool or even U.S. game systems, they don't specialize in it, but they do it, tarot decks and stuff. And see, I want my husband to do my art, and I will do the writing. So that was the plan, and that's how my husband and I even got together. Kind of. He contacted me. We had went to school together, and he contacted me and said that he found my page to be interesting, but basically, and he was telling me he was an artist, and I was like, oh, that must be why you contacted me. That's great. I think that's how it went. I don't know. I deleted all this stuff, and I needed that for my writing too. But yeah, so basically he had just recently got interested in this stuff. So yeah, that was just in February. So he had to speed up his process pretty quickly, you see. Okay, so I think I have answered most common questions. Oh, another one. I regret not raising my son in witchcraft. I really regret it. And I wish I could do a do-over. If you're a witch, raise your children in it if that's what you want. I wish that I had not listened to anyone else, that I had not quit. But things go the way they're supposed to, I feel like, so maybe that's just how it's supposed to be. I don't know. But anyway, this is my story, and tomorrow we will be doing our first Book of Shadows session, I guess. And I'm really excited about that. And like I said, we're going to be doing magical correspondences. And we've already done herbs, so I'm thinking about putting all the information in the description area so that we don't have to make it really long. And we're also going to talk about types of magic and witches. So we have 5 Sundays to work with, and we'll talk about things in between, but I really want to get back on the tarot because that is important and that's part of the channel, and I've not been doing it. It does take energy from me and it can make me physically ill, but I know to ground myself. I live beside the woods, so I can do that.